of you know what a firewalk is? Raise your hand. Okay, about half the room. How many of you don't know what it is? Okay, well, that's a good place for me to start. That's not what it is. That's a myth. Firewalker, the movie. But it just shows that even the name Firewalker is something that, what are you pointing at?
For the podium.
Oh, you want me to stand by the podium?
Yeah, get you on the Ustream. Sorry.
Okay. So that's firewalk. And what the firewalk is a fire that's built up when it burns down to the ground into red hot coals at about 1200 degrees Fahrenheit. It's raked into a path, and then we walk across it in our bare feet. And of course, the first question that I get from everybody is, why? And the reasons that people do, I mean, fire itself is something that just fascinates people. Even just the picture. People can stand around a fire and gaze into it and are just fascinated by it. Right? And if you go through history, fire for mankind is one of the greatest fears. It's something that is constructive, but it's also something we know as being very destructive. So the main reason that we use it a lot in the firewalks that we do is for overcoming fears and changing beliefs, because it's at such a deep root level for people. And the second question that everybody usually asks is, do people get burned? The answer is yes. People do get burned on firewalks, but only if they don't know what they're doing and they don't prepare it right. I have put over 120 people across 1200 degree coals in their bare feet in the last year, and no, people weren't burned because I know what I'm doing. So that's what the fire looks like, and that's when you stand and stroll across that in your bare feet from one side to the other. Yes, people do it, and they do it successfully. And the reasons why people do it, it's really personal. But the main reason, as I said, why we do it is it really helps people to move past fears, to transform in their lives. And it's really about being in the right mindset when you do it. We prepare people for 5 hours beforehand to really get into the right mental state. And there's someone who's studied firewalking since 1977. And people have tried to prove, how does it work? Why does it work? The truth is, nobody really knows. The only variable that's different in all the firewalks is the human mind and our ability to overcome things, to transcend things, to transform. Some people move across the fire a little bit faster than other people, but it's really about moving from one side to the other. And when I do firewalks, people say, do I have to do it? No, because it's not really about walking the fire, it's about learning the principles that allow you to do something like that. And so people come for different reasons. I've had people come who just kind of want to leave something in the past. I had a woman who'd been married for 40 years, and she came to the firewalk because she just didn't really know what to do now. It's her whole life had changed. And when she walked from one side to the other, she was just like this woman, just smiling and transformed. And I saw her about a month later, and she was just a different person. And I get testimony after testimony of people who come to me afterwards and said, that was just the most amazing experience that I've ever had. These are pictures from these are actual real pictures from firewalks that people have actually done. And people transform. Some people feel a sense of peace and transformation when they walk across the fire, like this. It's a spiritual experience for them. Others who are more business-oriented, etc., they have a different experience when they walk across the fire. It's really more about power.
Don't worry about it.
Like the phoenix, they feel more focused. They're able to take on fears and challenges that they've never taken on before in their lives. And it's just amazing to hear afterwards what people have done and the changes that they put into their life. Because I always tell them afterwards, I give them this saying, that I walked on fire, I can do anything I choose. And it really becomes an anchor point for them to, when they look at other things, other challenges come up in their life, they look back and said, I walked on fire, I can do this. And there's somebody's feet they actually walked across the fire. They're ugly feet, I know, but if you look at them, they're not burned feet. But if you look really close, there might be a little bandage on that one just under there. And when people ask, do you ever get burned? Sometimes people get what's called a fire kiss. It's a little spot on the bottom of the foot. But they've correlated through thousands and thousands and thousands of firewalks and lined it up with what's called reflexology. That often the spot, that if somebody does get a spot on their foot, it's a gift really from the fire to tell you, pay attention to your body because there might be something out of balance. So we always give that. And if if you're interested to learn more about what a firewalk is, come up and see me at the break or afterwards, and we'll talk about it, and I'll let you know more about firewalks.